There are a lot of crossovers on the market nowadays that you don't know whether to call it an SUV or a wagon, and one of these vehicles is the 2016 Ford Edge. And after all, the Edge without a doubt fits the bill of this latest automotive trend. Redesigned just last year, there are some significant changes made to this vehicle for 2016, so let's go ahead and check out this all-new 2016 Ford Edge. Now, since the Edge just got a full redesign last year, not much has changed as far as cosmetics go. Now, our trim of the Edge we have here is the SEL. Now, the biggest changes for the 2016 model year includes the addition of the Sync 3 infotainment system, which I highly praise this infotainment system. The 3.5-liter V6 is no longer available on the SE trim, and all Edges now receive a reducing noise windshield. Now here goes the key fob design for the Edge. Pretty good looking key fob design here. You have your lock, unlock, your remote engine start, your power tailgate, and then your panic button. Let's go ahead and test out the remote engine start. Nice little nifty feature there. Now our Edge comes in this beautiful white platinum metallic tri-coat exterior color. You also do have smart key access on all 4 doors of the vehicle. And you also do have a keyless entry pad on the side right here. Full beige leather interior. Power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar, of course. Alright, now stepping on inside of the Edge here, it has pretty ease of ingress and egress, and the step-in height is fairly low. The best way to describe the cabin of the Edge is simplistic yet high quality looking. And a lot of the materials do look rich inside of here. They look high quality and look expensive. I really do love the two-tone of the beige and the black going on inside of here. It certainly adds a lot more contrast to the interior, and it doesn't feel as austere. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 3.5-liter V6. Full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, you have your only gearbox, which is a 6-speed automatic. And when you put the vehicle into the S mode or the sport mode, you can shift the vehicle manually via the paddle shifters. And then you also do have an electronic parking brake as well. When you put the vehicle into reverse, displays your rear view camera with guidance signs and trajectory. We also do have rear parking sensors too. And there's different angles you could change of the rear view camera. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators, and you also do have blind spot detection. Now the Ford Edge is slotted up above the Ford Escape crossover in terms of size, price, and feature content. It's slotted below the Ford Explorer, Ford's 3-row crossover, in terms of size, price, and feature content as well. You have 18-inch polished aluminum wheels. They do look pretty good here. Now the Ford Edge only comes in a 2-row version. There is no 3-row seating available. You have halogen projector beam headlights with LED accenting lights. Now essentially there's 3 different powertrains you could choose from on the Edge. You could go for a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, which is your base powertrain, which I recommend avoiding. It can be sluggish at times. Or you could go for this 3.5-liter V6, or you could go for a 2.7-liter twin turbo V6. Now all are going to be mated into a 6-speed automatic transmission. You could go for front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Our 3.5-liter V6 is naturally aspirated, and it produces 280 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque, with EPA estimates being an okay 17 in the city and 25 on the highway. Our Edge also has all-wheel drive too. Now pricing of the Edge starts at the base SE trim, which starts at $28,700. The SEL, like how we have here, starts at $31,790. The titanium starts at $35,600. And then finally, the sport model starts at $40,900. Now, if you didn't know, the Ford Edge is based off of the Ford CD4 platform, which also includes the Ford Fusion, as well as the Lincoln MKX. Now, our particular Edge cost $41,775. EPA estimates, like I said, are 17 in the city and 25 on the highway. Coming up here, you have a shark fin antenna, LED taillights with LED turn signals, and a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster, and rear parking sensors. You also do have dual exhaust tips at the bottom right here too, and a trailer tow hitch. Now, competitors of the Edge, there's only really one competitor for the vehicle, and that's the Nissan Murano. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities: power windows, power mirrors, power door locks, all that good stuff. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Build quality and materials are excellent inside of the Edge here. This is one of Ford's nicest interiors, I have to say. You have nice soft touch materials up here on the upper door panel, mid door panel, armrest, of course. The dashboard is a nice softly padded material. Build quality is excellent, much better than the last generation Edge. No panel gaps inside of here, and in the interior trim and pieces fit well together for the most part. Overall, this is a really nicely finished interior with impeccable build quality. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, love the steering wheel design of the Edge here. Coming over here, we have your cruise control buttons, and then this right here controls your little display screen right there, which I will get to in just a second. Over here, these controls control that little display screen. And then you have your steering wheel mounted audio controls. You have your voice recognition and your Bluetooth phone controls as well. The steering wheel also does tilt manually, and it does telescope manually too. Pretty good range of adjustment on the telescoping. The tilting could use a little bit more range of adjustment. As far as seating comfort goes, the seats are very comfortable in the Edge, and they provide a great amount of support on the side bolsters, and thigh support is pretty good too. I wish there was a little bit more support on these side bolsters right here, but overall not too shabby. The headrests are also nice and plush as well. Visibility is okay out of the Edge. Seeing out of the front windows is okay. However, the A-pillar is pretty thick, I have to say. Seeing out of the windshield is pretty easy. When you get to rearward visibility, that's when it gets a little hard to see out of the vehicle. but at least a rear view camera does come standard on pretty much every trim. Up here we do have your auto dimming rear view mirror, map lights, and a panoramic sunroof. Gives the cabin a much more airy feel inside of here. Very nice. Then you have your sunglass container right here, garage home link. Up here you also do have a little storage cubby. Nice place if you want to store some stuff up there. Down here is where you will also find 2 USB charging ports and a little storage pocket. You also do have a little storage cubby on the side right here too. Coming right here, you have dual cup holders. Your center console lid is nice and soft touch and stitched. And there's a decent amount of center console storage. It's very deep, I have to say. You do have a 12-volt power outlet. Now, one thing I do love about the Edge is that there's plenty of space for the front occupants. That's very comfortable up here in the front, and there's plenty of headroom as well as legroom too. Now let's get to the climate controls for the Edge. They have a pretty simple and clean looking layout. I wish the buttons were just a tad bigger, but no knobs for the climate controls. It's all buttons. You do have dual zone automatic climate control, temperatures right here, then your fan speeds. Also shows you up on the Sync 3 infotainment system of what's going on. Shows you what temperature you have for the passenger or the driver, and then what fan speed you're at too. And then you have your recycling, and then you have your heated seats that are 3-staged for the driver and the passenger. Then you have your front window defroster and your rear window defroster as well. But overall, they're fairly easy to use. I just wish the buttons were just a tad bigger. Now let's get to the Sync 3 infotainment system. Now this is new for the 2016 model year for the Edge. They finally got rid of the My4 Touch system. And I love this system because it's very intuitive and user-friendly, and it's one of the best infotainment systems in the business. Now this is your home screen right here. This right here is your navigation, and then you have your radio or your different media devices right here too. Now let's get to audio. Coming to your different audio sources, you have all of the norm, AM, FM, Sirius satellite radio, your CD player with your optical disc drive, Bluetooth streaming audio, as well as your USB port with iPod integration, and you also do have your auxiliary input. But the responsiveness of the Sync 3 is just lightning quick. It's very intuitive. And then you also do have direct tune, so you could punch in a number like that. It's very quick and easy. Coming to climate, you can control your climate settings from here if you don't want to do it by the buttons down here, which is pretty cool. And you have your temperatures, different zones, fan speeds, all that good stuff. Coming to phone, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts start on here. And one thing I do love about this system is that you also do have a digital clock that displays on the upper portion right here at all times, and then you have your exterior temperature readout as well. Coming to nav, this is your navigation system, and you do have live traffic. The rendering is okay. It's not the best in the business, but it certainly does get the job done. And then you could change your different screen views. You have your traffic list, and then you have your where am I, if you don't know where you are. Then you have your navigation settings, map preferences, route preferences, navigation preferences. But the best thing I love about this system is how intuitive it is. They greatly improved it over the My4 Touch. Coming to apps, you have your Sirius Travel Link. You can add a device. Coming to settings right here, there's sound settings, clock, 911 assist, your Wi-Fi hotspot, vehicle display, your brightness, auto dim, valet mode, voice control, mobile apps. You could download apps onto the system. And I love how you could swipe like this. It feels very natural. It feels just like a tablet. Let's go ahead and test out the voice recognition for the system.
Please say a command.
Sirius channel 47.
Tuning to channel 47.
Pretty good. Does recognize your voice pretty well. Now let's get to the gauges and the instrument cluster. This is very familiar looking here. This is pretty much what you will find on all of Ford's vehicles and Lincoln's vehicles as well. You have a big old speedometer in the middle, and then you have two information display screens, one on the left and then one on the right. Coming to the one on the left, this shows you all of your vehicle information. Now you have your coolant temperature right here, as well as your fuel gauge, and then you have your odometer too. And then you have display modes that you could change. You have your tachometer, and then you have your fuel range. Shows you your intelligent all-wheel drive system, what's going on. And then you have your tire pressure monitoring system, all that good stuff. You have your trip information, and if you want to reset it, you just have to click on the, or hold on the OK button. Then you have your fuel economy data. It gives you your average fuel economy. Driver assistance settings like your rear cross traffic alert, your trailer sway, your rear parking aid, blind spot detection. Settings, you have your vehicle settings, the Ford My Key, display setup, your temperature, your gauge display, tire pressure, language, all that good stuff. Now coming to the center, you have your speedometer, of course, and then it shows you what gear you're in down here as well. Coming to the right, this basically shows you what radio station is playing. You could change your different media source from here if you would like. Then you have your navigation, shows you your turn-by-turn direction, and then also you have an integrated compass too. It also shows you your exterior temperature readout, and then it also shows you your digital clock as well. Coming to phone, shows you if any phone is connected, and you can make a phone call from here. Overall, pretty basic, just basic stuff like your entertainment, navigation, and your phone. Now, when Ford redesigned the Edge in the 2015 model year, they certainly took it a little bit more upmarket in terms of how it rides and handles. Now, since the Edge is based off of the Ford CD4 platform and it's very related to the Ford Fusion, it's no surprise here that the Ford Edge is a great vehicle to drive. It handles very well, and it also has a very smooth and compliant ride that are very similar traits to what the Ford Fusion has. Now, the ride is very, very smooth, buttery smooth, and it's very compliant, very absorbent, and it feels almost like a luxury car, to be honest. It almost feels just as good as the Lexus RX, and it certainly has gotten to that territory of vehicle. It feels very premium in its ride quality. The handling is also pretty good. You can feel for where this vehicle is trying to go, and it certainly has a little bit precision when you're turning around corners, and it feels pretty nimble around corners as well. The 3.5-liter V6 certainly provides enough passing power for your daily commute, and the fuel economy isn't too shabby either. Overall, driving the Ford Edge is a very pleasant experience. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear of the vehicle. The second row seats also do recline. Now, even though the Ford Edge doesn't have a third row seat, the second row seat is very comfortable and is a very pleasant experience. It's more comfortable than the Ford Explorer, which is a 3-row crossover. The seats are very plush and they have a decent amount of thigh support to them. They're great for longer trips. You do have dual map pockets back here, rear air vents, a 12-volt power outlet down there, and a 110-volt power outlet, and a little storage cubby. Rear center armrest with cup holders, and you do have rear adjustable headrests. I love this panoramic sunroof. Certainly gives it a much more open feel inside of here. There's certainly plenty of headroom and plenty of legroom back here. So even though it doesn't have a third row seat, the second row seat is a very pleasant experience. It's much more comfortable than the Ford Explorer's second row, and more comfortable than the Ford Escape's second row too. All right. Now our Edge comes equipped with a hands-free and powered liftgate. All you have to do is kick your foot under the vehicle like this. And back here on the Edge, you'll find a decent amount of cargo space. The rear seats do fold down 60-40 split. Just by the push of a button. Easy as that. And you also do have a 12-volt power outlet. And a full-size spare tire. You have a powered passenger seat with manual recline. And over here you have a 12-volt power outlet. Goes your glove box compartment, nice and damp. So the 2016 Ford Edge is an excellent choice for a midsize two-row crossover. With its roomy accommodations for the front and second row, its premium ride and cabin, and its loads of technology. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.